Und da sind wir mal wieder bei Nein, Nein, Nein. Und ich würde sagen, wir machen direkt weiter. Im letzten Part haben wir ja unsere Wege wiedergefunden. Und mal schauen, wie es weitergeht. They were happy to simply see one another again. Also, the level of cheer varied greatly from person to person. Each one of them was wearing some manner of smile. What the fuck? Sekunde kurz. Da bin ich wieder. Mein Handy hat gerade ein bisschen rumgezickt. So. Also, the level of cheer varied greatly from person to person. Each one of them was wearing some manner of smile. Almost as though they had already forgotten about the death of the ninth man. No, thought Jumpy. Perhaps that wasn't it. Perhaps thought of his death were what drove them to smile at one another. Not in a morbid or hateful way, no. The ninth man has died, but they were still alive, and that was something to be happy about. A sort of simple, uncomplicated joy, Jumpy through the joy of being alive. Still alive. He feels sorry for the ninth man, but more than anything, Jumpy was just happy to be alive. Ja, das ist eine gute Einstellung, Jumpy gefällt mir. There you have it, our half of the story. His part finished Ace Fear's silence. For a moment, Jumpy was silent, and then he spoke. Okay, let me see if you got all this straight. When you guys got there, the bastards of the rats were already gone, and you looked all over the room, but you couldn't find anything. So you figured out that there might be something in the hallway with all the doors. So you went and had a look. Yeah. And while you were looking around, you heard voices? Uh-huh. So you followed these voices and came back here. Indeed. And that was how we found you. Jumpy examined the three rats again just in case. On the bottom of each was a long, thin gap. It looks like a slot for something, probably something electronic. Well, that isn't good. If the rat is inactive, we can't keep going. Well, what about the hallways over there? Isn't there anywhere else we can go? No, there isn't. There are plenty more hospital rooms, but nothing else. Hospital rooms? That's what behind all these doors? Yes. There are a number of individual rooms in addition to this large room. There was a door at the end of the hallway, but it was locked. There was an astrological symbol engraved near the keyhole, however. I was able to get a good feel of it. Believe it was the symbol of Jupiter. Not again. Those goddamn things are everywhere. Everyone know what they all mean? For a moment everyone was silent, deep in thought. While we were asking what things mean, what's the deal with his room? I mean, I thought it was a cruise ship, but I can't imagine a cruise ship would have a hospital like this. Of all people, there was 7 who answered, and with calm confidence. Well, I figured it's probably a hospital ship. Chances are it's the gigantic. The gigantic? Jumpy looked confused, so did everyone else. What is this gigantic? 7 knit his bones for a moment, then began to explain. The gigantic. He explained that she had been a sister ship to the Titanic, built in the early 20th century. The Titanic had two sister ships, who were identical to one another in nearly every aspect. The Gigantic was said to be one of them. She was initially intended to be a passenger liner like the Titanic, but soon after the ship was launched, the First World War began, and she was pressed into duty by the British Navy as a hospital ship. Sometime later, the Gigantic was damaged by a German mine in the Aegean Sea. She managed to return aground after the incident and consequently was not sunk. What's that happening to the Gigantic after her fateful encounter in the Aegean Sea? One theory ran that a man named Lord Godwin purchased her. Lord Godwin, it seems, had been one of the few survivors of the Titanic tragedy, and war trauma had turned into an obsessive collector of all things related to the Titanic. As his obsession dependent, he began to desire the Titanic itself. That, of course, was impossible. The Titanic lay on the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. The Gigantic, however, had not suffered such a dire fate, and as she was identical to her sister ship, she called Lord Godine's eye. So, you're saying this Lord Godine bought the ship?
Yeah, at least I think I am.
That's impossible. No way, no way. We're in some boat that's almost 100 years old. Pipe down, just pay attention. What's that? What, that's it? Well, if you have got any proof... Proof that the ship is really gigantic.
Well, the ship got stuff. That's like the Titanic and the hospital ship. So I just figured...
Oh, for goodness. Don't tell me that's your only reason.
No, I've got more.
Like?
Well, I mean...
Silver looked around desperately, doing anything to avoid meeting Lotus' piercing stare. He scratched his head for a moment and gave up. Finally, he opened his mouth.
I don't know.
Lotus sighed and shook her head. I guess your memory isn't back, is it?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Hey, wait a minute. Memory isn't back? Jumpy was, he felt legitimately shocked by the what seems to be new, very important information. Everyone else, whomever, seemed unimpressed. In fact, they all looked at Jumpy as thought he had something very strange. He decided to revise his attitude for the next question. Wait, was I the only one that didn't know? Everyone nodded. Why?
Oh yeah, I guess I just didn't tell you, huh? I told the rest of them before we ran into you on the stairs. I told them I couldn't remember a damn thing from before I woke up.
What? That almost as if to save Jumpy from further embracement. Also was jetzt hier passiert ist, sie haben gerade darüber gesprochen, dass dieses Schiff ja sowieso eigentlich kein Passagierschiff sein kann, weil es ja mit einem riesigen Hospital, also mit einem riesigen Krankenhaus quasi inne wohnt. Und deswegen haben wir jetzt gesagt, ob es vielleicht das Schwesterschiff der Titanic wäre. Und jetzt then almost as if to start save Jumpy from further embracement. Also ich wurde gerade unterbrochen, tut mir leid. Was ich erzählen wollte ist quasi Nummer 7. Ist Scientist aus der ganzen Gruppe, der wohl Amnesia hat, also sprich keine Erinnerung mehr an die Ereignisse vor diesem non-nonary Game. Ich hab's heute echt mit der deutschen Sprache. Und ja. Jumpy hat das jetzt gerade als Einzelner, wusste natürlich nicht im Vorfeld. Und ich gehe mal davon aus, dass sie jetzt versuchen werden herauszufinden, warum er es nicht hat. Beziehungsweise, dass sie in Erinnerung wieder zurückholen wollen. Gehe ich mal von aus. Er war auch derjenige, der die ganze Geschichte mit dem Schwesternschiff erzählt hat von der Titanic. Und jetzt hat er die Theorie aufgestellt, dass es ja sein könnte, dass jemand von der alten Besatzung der Titanic ja auch Zero sein könnte, theoretisch. Then almost as if to save Jumpy from further embracement. A bell began to ring from far away. It sounded as thought it was the clock the main stairway. Jumpy counted each time carefully. It's midnight. Then we've still got 6 hours left, right?
We don't have any time to screw around. Let's get going. We gotta find the missing part of the rats.
What do you mean, find? How on earth do you propose we do that?
We looked everywhere in the room. There only leaves one place to look.
One?
Well, I guess that's not really right.
But wait! Don't tell me you mean we need to search for all of the other rooms.
Don't freak out. We already searched 4 of them.
4 rooms?
We just have to split up the rest between the 8 of us. If each person does 6 rooms, that'll be 48 rooms, right?
So there are 48 rooms left? Her early experience that had apparently not encouraged Lotus to trust 7. Seven scratched his head accordingly.
I don't know.
After a little more discussion, they split up and headed toward the rooms to begin searching them. Junpei was chosen to search the rooms on the starboard side, moving from fore to aft. They also determined when they would return to report their findings the next time the clock sounded the time. When it did, they would meet back in the large central room full of beds. If during the search any one of them were to locate the missing components, they were to yell for the others. If the strategy failed, they'd return to discuss their options later. The details decided they left to begin searching. Out into the hallway they went, each to the rooms they'd been assigned. However, far away, Junpei heard the bell ring. It did so only once. It was 1 a.m. Okay. He jogged through the entrance of a large hospital room to find 6 of the other already there. Ace, Santa, Clover, June, 7 and Lotus. They had gathered in front of the door number 8. Or perhaps to be accurate, they had gathered in front of the red next to the number 8. Had one of them found the missing piece? What happened, guys? It was June who answered him. Jumpy, look! She was pointing on the red. He pushed through the others until he stopped in front of it. Immediately, he knew what she had meant. The display of the front of the red was vacant. Jumpy sighed. Come on, guys, who's that? I thought we were supposed to yell if we found it. Well, Jumpy wondered why she was hesitating. The others looked as confused as June, but keeping their mouths shut. What the hell? What's up with you guys? They all knew something he didn't, and Jumpy wasn't about to leave things that way. Finally, Lotus frowned and spoke. Well, that's the thing. We don't know. You don't know? When we got back, it was always like this. There was no eggs here. That means I was the first one, but the missing parts were already back in the red. Jumpy looked at the bottom of the red again, just to make sure. The slot had been opened on the bottom was now covered with metal. Clearly, whatever had been missing bed had been returned. What about the other 2? They're the same. Jumpy quickly examined the other 2 boxes. Satisfied that they were also repaired, but still very confused, he returned to the others. Alright, I just want to be sure. Nobody has any idea what the hell happened here, right? Ace and June nodded silently. 7 raised his head as to say, not me, and Santa just shrugged. Only Clover lowered her back and did nothing. Huh? Wait a minute. That was when he noticed, where's Snake? Jumpy swept his eyes across the room a second time, but Snake was nowhere to be seen. Does that mean that he found them? I have no idea. There's nothing to suggest it, but nothing to suggest he didn't either. I don't suppose we know until we can ask him in person.
Well, whatever he did or didn't, he's pretty damn late. What the hell is he up to?
Maybe he's lost.
Yeah, well, that seems likely.
Jude can't see. I don't know how he's get around in the first place. Clover raised her head. No, that's not possible! Suddenly she was shouting. Yeah, my brother's blind, but he's got really great hearing. He can hear around as well as anyone you can see. So he couldn't get lost. That's impossible. Clover started to shake and the knuckles of her hands gone white. She spun around, but before she did, Jumpy noticed tears welling up in her eyes. I'm gonna look for him! The words were barely enough her mouth when she began to run. Hey! Hold on, Clover, wait! Jumpy cried out of fear, but she was too slow. She kept going and before anyone else could react, she was gone. Damn it. What should she do now? Und ich würde sagen, was Clover jetzt vorhat, die sehen wir dann im nächsten Part. Bis zum nächsten Mal, euer Kitsune Snow, bye bye.